You say you want to grow. You say you want to evolve, level up, and become the best version of yourself. But every time the discomfort shows up, you back off. You retreat. You run. And that's the reason you're stuck. That's the reason you haven't moved. See, comfort is the enemy of growth. It's the thing that lulls you to sleep while life passes you by. It's quiet, but it's dangerous. Comfort convinces you that you have time. It whispers, rest a little longer, when you know deep down that it's time to rise. Growth doesn't happen when everything is going your way. It happens in the dark places, when no one is clapping, when your plans are falling apart, when you feel like quitting, but you keep showing up. It happens when you push past your limits, when you choose discipline over feelings, when you do what's right, not what's easy. That's where growth lives. Not in the comfort zone, but on the edge of your breaking point. Comfort will tell you it's okay to take shortcuts. Comfort will tell you to wait for the perfect moment. But success doesn't wait on your feelings. It responds to your actions. And if you're waiting for it to feel easy, you'll be waiting forever. Every person who's achieved something meaningful had to get uncomfortable. They had to fight through fear, through doubt, through failure. And they didn't do it once. They did it daily, over and over. Repeating the hard things that no one sees, trusting that those reps would pay off. You don't grow by doing what's familiar. You grow by doing what stretches you. Emotionally, physically, spiritually. Growth and comfort cannot coexist. One will always choke out the other. So the question becomes, which one are you choosing? Because every day you wake up and stay in your safe space, you're choosing not to grow. You're choosing the easy route over the meaningful one. And over time, that decision becomes your life. Everybody wants the promise. Everybody wants the blessing, the breakthrough, the platform, the recognition. But nobody wants the process that shapes the character to handle it. You can't pray for the promise and run from the process. It doesn't work like that. You ask God to elevate you, to take you to new levels, to open doors. But the moment adversity shows up, the moment you feel pressure, you start backing out. You start questioning everything. You want the mountain, but you don't want the climb. What you have to understand is that the process is not punishment. It's preparation. It's not designed to destroy you. It's designed to develop you. The process is what builds the foundation. It's what teaches you patience, humility, grit. Without it, the promise will crush you because you won't be strong enough to hold it. The weight of the blessing will be too heavy for weak hands, for a fragile mindset, for inconsistent discipline. People see the fruit in someone else's life, but they don't see the roots that were growing underground when no one was watching. They don't see the pain, the long nights, the moments of silence and confusion and prayer. They don't see the sacrifices that were made when no applause was coming. That's the process. That's the hidden work that nobody talks about, but everybody goes through. You can't escape it if you're serious about your calling. And yet, when it gets hard, we question whether we're even on the right path. But difficulty doesn't mean you're off track. It means you're being refined. It means you're in the furnace, being molded into who you need to be. God never promised it would be easy. He promised he'd be with you in it. So the process, it's necessary. It's where your foundation is tested, where your motives are purified, where your faith is no longer theory, but practice. Motivation is a good start, but it won't carry you through. It fades. It's temporary. It depends on feelings, on moods, on circumstances aligning just right. One moment you're fired up, ready to take on the world, and the next moment you're questioning everything because it doesn't feel good anymore. That's the problem with relying on motivation. It's inconsistent. It comes and goes. It's emotional. But success doesn't care how you feel. Growth doesn't wait for motivation to show up. It responds to discipline. Discipline is a decision. It's showing up when everything in you wants to stay in bed. It's doing the work when nobody's watching, when there's no applause, no audience, no immediate reward. It's saying, I don't feel like it, but I'm doing it anyway. Discipline, what separates those who almost make it from those who do. It's not about talent or inspiration. It's about habits. It's about consistency. And it's about making a choice every single day to honor your purpose, even when your emotions say otherwise. Some days, you're not going to feel strong. Some days, you won't feel inspired. You won't want to train, study, prepare, push. And in those moments, if you wait on motivation, you'll lose momentum. You'll lose progress. You'll start negotiating with excuses. But if you've built discipline, if you've trained your mind and your will to obey your purpose, not your feelings, then you can push through anyway. Discipline creates freedom. It gives you control over your actions, over your time, over your future. It creates a rhythm that leads to results. Not once, not twice, but day after day. Because success isn't a one-time event. It's the result of small, consistent actions repeated over time. Discipline makes you dangerous because it makes you dependable. It means you're not ruled by the weather, the crowd, or your own weakness. It means you've locked in. You've committed. You've decided that no matter how you feel, you're going to keep showing up and doing what needs to be done. Life is unpredictable. Circumstances shift. Things fall apart. Plans you thought were solid suddenly collapse. People walk away. Opportunities vanish. Pain shows up without warning. And in those moments, it's easy to believe that your situation defines you. It's easy to let what's happening around you shape what's happening inside you. But the truth is, your mindset matters more than your circumstance. What's going on inside of you will always be more important than what's going on around you. You don't control the storm, but you control how you stand in it. You don't always get to choose the pressure, but you always choose the posture. Some people fold under the weight of life, and others rise. Not because life treated them better, but because they trained their mind to respond differently. They made a decision that no matter what life throws their way, they won't be shaken. Your mindset is your lens. It's how you interpret the world. Two people can go through the exact same struggle and come out with two very different stories. One gets bitter, the other gets better. One gives up, the other grows. The difference isn't the pain, it's the perspective. The pain is real, but so is the power that comes from how you choose to think through it. You can't let your situation control your spirit. If your mindset is weak, everything becomes a reason to quit. But if your mindset is strong, nothing becomes an excuse to stop. That's why you have to guard your thoughts. Feed your mind the truth. Surround yourself with people who speak life. Speak victory to yourself when no one else will. Because your mind will either be your prison or your passport. And that choice is yours. Every obstacle is an opportunity to shift your thinking. Every trial is a test of your perspective. When you stop letting your situation dictate your attitude and start letting your attitude transform your situation, you unlock a new level of strength. It's not about pretending things are easy. It's about refusing to be broken by what's hard. At some point in life, a pain is going to visit you. Disappointment is going to knock on your door. Plans will break. People will leave. Dreams might even shatter right in front of you. And your first instinct, like most people, will be to ask, why me? That question is rooted in confusion, in frustration, in a desire to make sense of something that hurts. But if you stay in that place too long, you'll miss what the pain is trying to produce in you. You'll miss the opportunity inside the adversity. Because the better question, the one that changes everything, is, why not me? Why not me to go through this and come out stronger? Why not me to be trusted with the trial that teaches me how to lead with humility, how to walk with empathy, how to fight with faith? When you shift the question, you shift your posture. You stop seeing yourself as a victim of your circumstances and start seeing yourself as someone chosen to rise through them. That mindset doesn't remove the struggle, but it redefines it. It gives your suffering meaning. It gives your pain a purpose. The truth is, growth requires pressure. Diamonds are formed in the dark, under heat, under time. Gold is refined by fire. Trees grow strongest in the storm. And just maybe you were picked for the pressure because there's something inside you that needs to be revealed. Something strength alone won't produce, but struggle will. Maybe the setback isn't a sign you're being punished. Maybe it's a sign you're being prepared. It's hard to see that when you're in it. It's hard to believe that the pain is for something greater. But purpose isn't always visible in the middle. You don't always get clarity before obedience. Sometimes you have to walk through the fire before you understand why it was necessary. But when you stop asking why life is so unfair and start asking how you can grow through what you're facing, you take back your power. You stop waiting for rescue and start building your resilience. So many people chase success their whole lives and still feel empty when they get it. They reach the goal, get the number, get the applause, but something still feels off. That's because real success isn't just about achievement. It's about alignment. It's about living in your purpose, not just chasing position. When your only focus is the end result, the money, the status, the validation, you lose sight of who you're becoming in the process. And that's dangerous because the wrong definition of success will drive you in the wrong direction. Purpose is deeper. Purpose doesn't shift with trends. It's not about attention. It's not about being seen. It's about being solid. It's knowing why you wake up every day, even when nobody's clapping, even when progress feels slow. Purpose keeps you grounded when success would have made you arrogant. It keeps you focused when distraction tries to pull you away. And the truth is, when you live on purpose, success becomes a byproduct. It follows you, not because you chased it, but because you were faithful to what mattered most. The world will tell you to climb the ladder, to win at all costs, to prove people wrong. But what's the point of climbing fast if it's the wrong wall? What's the point of getting the title if it costs your integrity? Success without purpose is shallow. It's short-lived. It can impress people, but still leave you disconnected from yourself. Purpose, on the other hand, builds legacy. It builds character. It gives you peace when nobody's watching and strength when life gets hard. You weren't created to live just for success. You were created to live with intention, with conviction, with something inside of you that wakes up every day to serve, to grow, to impact. And when you align with that, when your heart is rooted in purpose, you won't have to force doors open. You won't have to beg for recognition. You won't have to perform for validation. Success will find you while you're doing the work that matters in the shadows with your head down and your purpose clear.